And on a different note, when I saw that, I was like, cool for him, cool for Baker Mayfield being a part of it. The coaching staff did this. I thought it was awesome. But on the other side, I immediately went and thought about Saquon Barkley. Here he is sitting at home playing his old team, and here he was 100 yards away from a 40-year-old record. Eric Dickerson, he was sweating bullets. He wanted to keep this record. Saquon, I first you're going against the Giants, who are terrible. The record would have been broke at halftime or early in the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And Philadelphia, I mean, I do give them credit. They're thinking long term, and I get that. But man, they did miss a moment. And when you watch Mike Evans and the team celebrate like they did, you can't help but feel extra for Saquon Barkley.
The Mike Evans part did make it hurt a little bit.
It does, because you watch a team. It wasn't just Mike Evans' word. Everybody celebrated with him. And they could have done that with Saquon Barkley. Now, if they win the Super Bowl,
no one's going to care.
Yeah, hopefully they do for him. But man, that was a missed opportunity. What do you think about it? What do you think about the decision?
It wouldn't have been my decision.
Okay.
This is the reason. Personally, this is the reason I wouldn't have made that decision. And I talked about this with Mike a little bit. Is he does this? He's instantly in the Hall of Fame. Mm-hmm. He's not going to not make the Hall of Fame if he does this. He instantly goes into the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He instantly will be the MVP, which the Eagles haven't done since the AFC the AFL and the NFL combined.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he would have
the first Eagle MVP.
It probably cost him the MVP.
Yeah, so
and a record.
He could have been in the Hall of Fame, had the record, Eagles Hall of Fame, and MVP.
Yep.
All in one game. And now there's a possibility. There's a strong possibility that Saquon doesn't make the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
There's a strong possibility he doesn't make the Eagles Hall of Fame.
Especially with the longevity.
There's a strong possibility that he may never get an MVP. And there's a strong possibility he never breaks the record. So for me personally, it's not the decision I would have made. I understand where they're coming from. But I do have good news. I got great news. I want to share it with you right now.
All right, share with me.
Saquon Barkley average carries per game was about 22. On those carries, he averaged 5.8 yards. In one game, on average, he would rush for 128 yards on average. So if he would have played that one last game, he would have, on average, reached 2,133 yards. With a combined, he has actually, if you want to look at his combined stats with catching and rushing and receiving, he has 2,283 yards, 278 yards receiving, 33 catches on an average of 8.4. Let me just tell you, for any of the fans of football out there, you don't even have to be an Eagles fan to see this. You actually got to witness history, because the greatest running back performance in a year just happened.
Yeah.
And you can go and look at the stats, and I'm now going to read off some of Eric Dickerson's. So Eric Dickerson actually attempted 34 more rushing attempts than Saquon Barkley did this year. And even if Saquon would have played that last game, on average, Eric Dickerson would have still rushed for another 12 additional rushing attempts over what Saquon did. And Saquon would have beat his record by about 30 yards on average. And so if you look at it, he averaged 5.6 yards a carry, which is 0.2 less than Saquon. His combined yards, because he did receive some, his receiving yards was 139 on 21 catches, so he has 8.7 yards, which is a little bit better than Saquon. But if you're talking about just from a pure rush standpoint,
this is the best year.
This is the best year that we've ever seen in the NFL for a running back. And we can sit back, we can look at the stats, we can look at how many times he rushed the ball, how many times he rushed on average, how many yards he rushed per game, and we can say that it's sad to not see him break the record. Yeah. But as a football fan and a sports fan in general, it is exciting to say that we got to see one of the greatest performances in running back history, and maybe the greatest performance in running back history for a year.
Yeah, and you take into consideration earlier on in the season when he could have broke his own record, and he says, "No, feed the boys." I'm good. I mean, his humility, this is what it's done for me. He has drawn me to the Eagles. I'm rooting for them. I just hope that karma, whatever, blesses him, because it's not only the record. He was going against his team, his former team. And what a storybook moment. I mean, you could not have asked for a better scenario, but for the betterment of the team and the people that, voted, and it would not surprise me at all if Saquon said, I'll hold out.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
You know what's kind of funny, though? Have you ever heard this? What was it? Oh, there's a video. I don't remember what it was from. It was maybe a movie. It was a clip that I saw. And I'm just thinking about it right now. And he has a cigarette in his hands, and he kind of just flips it, twirls it around. He puts it in his mouth, and he's talking to this girl. And something along the lines, she basically says, "Why do you always have that cigarette in your mouth, but you never light it?" And he said something along the lines of, "The power to hold something that'll kill you, but not let it kill you, is almost more powerful than anything else in the world."
Mm-hmm.
And for Saquon to have the ability to basically embarrass his former team and the members of his former team,
Yeah.
but to then not do it, is almost more powerful than doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways.
Well, congratulations to Saquon Barkley. Incredible year. Incredible year. Hope Philly goes on and does great things. And Mike Evans, fantastic. Incredible.